Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can use Hydra here at Townhall 15 to 3-star any base. So Hydra is exceptionally powerful at multiple different town halls, and in specific today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can use a giant arrow zap variation to get maximum damage and 3-star plenty of bases. This one is probably the easiest strategy I have seen at Townhall 15 when it comes to dragons, because it's just super simple to execute. So we're going to jump in, and the first thing you're going to want to make sure you do is bring that giant arrow. It's super important that you bring the giant arrow because it's a pivotal part of this attack. You're going to be using it to take down things like air defenses, air sweepers, and to help create that funnel on multiple sides of the base. The healer puppet is also going to be coming in alongside the queen. So kicking off here, you guys can see we're actually going to be using 3 lightning spells to take care of an air defense. Not only are we going to take care of an air defense, but you'll see symmetrical to this, we've got the air defense, the archer tower, and the expo. We're also going to get some damage onto those other buildings, taking down the archer tower as well. Continuing on with this one, you guys will see we have the archer queen coming over here from this right hand side. Once she has taken care of that hero hall, she is going to be lined up perfectly, and we can shoot her ability, and we're snagging 2 of those air defenses. So one over on that right hand side and one all the way over here on that left hand side. So already we have taken down 3 of the air defenses, and we've only just got into this attack. The 4th is of course up at this top section, but we can worry about that later on in the attack. Well, all the meanwhile, we've got a baby dragon down here funneling, and now we're just going to let that queen do her thing over here on that right hand side, sprinkling in a couple of dragons just to help set that funnel a little touch more, and then we are going to bring in the rest of our army. Now the good thing with that giant arrow is we also took care of an air sweeper. You'll see there's one here and there was one here as well. We took care of that with the giant arrow. If you're coming into a base and you're going to be knowingly pushing against an air sweeper, you're going to want to use your free spells on it, because those air sweepers, even though they don't do any damage, push your dragons and dragon riders back enough that the other defenses can do some significant damage themselves. When it comes to abilities, we're looking at the Eternal Tome and the Healing Tome coming down on that Grand Warden. We're also of course going to be bringing in that blimp, using the Eternal Tome right there so they can all fly right through. Pausing things up, it's very important that you catch that blimp with the Eternal Tome. We're going to see an example slightly later on where we do get it in the tome, but unfortunately doesn't quite make it to the town hall, and getting that town hall takedown with your blimp is absolutely pivotal when it comes to these attacks. Now there's a couple of different things you can bring in your blimp itself. Some people like to bring balloons and a dragon rider. That's what we're going to be seeing today. Specifically for me, I do actually like to bring the Yetis, but again, that is totally personal preference. You'll see that blimp going to get all the way through to the town hall. We're going to deploy a rage spell down. We do find the tornado trap right there, but luckily the dragon rider can actually shoot over while in the tornado trap, and we're going to continue pushing on through. Now when it comes to spells, you guys will see we're actually using the skeleton spell down here to help tank for heroes and for things like the monolith. Those dragons are going to continue doing some work there, and what I would say when it comes to the rest of your spells, use the free spells on heavy portions of the base that are doing significant damage to your dragons and dragon riders. So that'll be the monolith, inferno towers, scatter shots, buildings like that. Definitely super important to try and protect your troops. When it comes to your king, you can also just go ahead, use him on the outside of the base to help create that funnel. Honestly, personal preference is probably going to be leaning towards the spiky ball on him. I find it just helps to funnel a little bit. You can also bring the earthquake boots and use him to open up the last air defense compartment to get your king in and take care of that. But in this specific example, our queen actually does that beautifully and is able to take that down. You'll see we still actually haven't even deployed our royal champion yet. We can use her on the back end of this one to crush these last couple of defenses. When it comes to RC, Haste Vial alongside the Hog Rider puppet, those are going to be able to help us get through. Unfortunately, we had a couple of super loons coming out of the clan castle late on into this attack, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to deploy that ability right there. All of the Hog Riders get taken down, but they actually tank for that RC, and they allow her to go ahead and push through the back end of this one, swagging a rage and a freeze spell, multiple troops there to finish off this first attack. So yeah, Hydra, very strong down here at Townhall 15, and of course the link for this specific army composition is down in the description down below if you do want to pick this up. All you have to do, go ahead, click on it, open the Clash of Clans, and it will load automatically for you. But let's jump in and take a look at the second example of Hydra here at Townhall 15. Okay, so exactly the same setup here. We are going to be using that giant arrow, but unfortunately on this one we do actually miss that air defense. You'll see we just missed it because we didn't quite line up our queen perfectly. She was slightly off center, and that means we don't quite get that air defense, so we're going to have to then use those lightning spells on that to help set that funnel. It's not the end of the world, but of course you're looking to always try and pick up maximum value, and if we have taken down this air defense at that top section of the base, we then could have used those lightning spells on one of these other back end compartments. But regardless, we are going to push on exactly the same way. The queen going to be doing her thing down here at that bottom right hand side of the base, baby dragon doing a beautiful job funneling up towards that top section. We are going to want to protect our queen because she's almost doing a miniature queen charge down this bottom section of the base, and we're actually going to be pushing her in towards this scatter shot. She's already dealt with the enemy queen, which is basically a walking air defense with a miniature crossbow, so getting her down is very helpful indeed. We're going to let the queen do her thing, but like I said, don't be scared to use those spells and actually protect your queen herself. The rest of our troops are going to be pushing in right here, using again that Eternal Tome ability. You could have held on to it slightly longer than we did in this particular example, but regardless, we are going to be pushing on through, and ideally we're going to be taking that Town Hall down before our dragons, dragon riders and balloons get close enough that they will be affected by the Giga Bomb and the poison effect from that Town Hall. Pushing on through, you guys will see, unfortunately we get a little bit of a split on our troops here. It's not the end of the world, but sometimes it can make deciding where to use our spells more difficult than we were potentially anticipating, but always going to rage up the largest group that's going probably into the core of the base. The dragons all have pretty much died off. We had a couple of dragon riders taking care of stuff in the middle, but this might be a familiar sight if you're using this strategy. Your dragons, your dragon riders have all died off, and you've still got a significant amount of the base to take down, and that is where your royal champion is going to come in and save the day. You're going to want to use that RC on the back end on a portion of the base that you know she's going to be able to get value, and because she's got that Diggy on her, that is really going to help stun those buildings and be just the saving grace for a lot of these attacks. Again, King going around the outside of the base, he can come in with that ability, definitely pick off a few buildings on the back end. For me, again, Earthquake Boots definitely a very viable option for him. Spiky Ball as well, just to help clean up some of those kind of those buildings, should I say, around the outside. Continuing to push on this one, we are now going to deploy our royal champion while she is being tanked for by the king, by the dragons, by the dragon rider in the core of the base, looking to hopefully take down this multi-target inferno. Final air defense is going to go down right there, and we're going to use the royal champion's ability in a second. The healers from that queen ability actually are going to transfer over to the RC. There goes her ability. That is going to allow her to push through these last couple of structures beautifully. Down goes the Tesla, and we are going to finish off with another 3-star. So this one slightly closer than we were potentially looking for, but again, you guys can see how effective this strategy is, and it's very simple to execute. You're using that giant arrow, looking to take down at least 2 air defenses and also an air sweeper if you possibly can get it to line up, using those lightning spells on a 3rd air defense, and then you'll finish off with that 4th one on the back end. Heroes basically just going to be used to funnel. The Grand Warden, of course, to protect that blimp, getting it in towards that Town Hall compartment, and then you guys will be able to crush lots and lots of bases just like I have shown you in today's video. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you want to head down to the comments, let me know if you have tried out this strategy here at Town Hall 8. While you're down there, leave a like on the video and subscribe to us here at the Barracks. We are pushing for 500 subs. Hopefully we'll get there soon. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.